Breaking news, Trump just told kids to expect fewer toys because of his tariffs. At a cabinet meeting this week, Trump brushed off concerns about skyrocketing prices from his 145% tariffs on the Chinese imports. His exact words were, maybe the children will have 2 dolls instead of 30. This isn't a joke. Nearly 80% of the toys sold in the US come from China. So these tariffs, they're going to hit hardest at Christmas. Trump says it's about fair trade, but when kids pay the price and billionaires still get tax breaks, you gotta ask, who is he really fighting for?
There have been so many great names for Donald Trump, like Mango Mussolini, Fanta Fascist, Tangerine Palpatine, the very simple yet effective Don the Con. And I've used all of them interchangeably, sometimes all in one sentence. And I have decided that from today until December 25th, 2025, at least, I am now going to call him Donny Two Dolls. And thank you to Lawrence O'Donnell for that gem. Hat tip to you, sir. Chef's kiss.
What's the biggest mistake you think you've made in the first 100 days?
I'll tell you, that's the toughest question I can have because I don't really believe I've made
You
mistakes.
made any mistakes.
We're in a transition period. We're in a transition period.
I think Lee is reassured.
I think you're going to see tremendous economic victories over the next period of a year, like far greater than ever imagined. Right now, as I said, we're losing billions and billions of dollars on trade. We're going to make billions and billions of dollars, but it takes a little while. That doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen much faster than people understand.
All right.
Well, it's really pretty simple, isn't it? Trump kept telling us over and over, he's going to bring prices down on day one. And don't forget, he had years to come up with a plan. So when he said, with conviction, he's going to bring prices down on day one, half the country, or half the voting bloc, believed him. And now on day 100, ooh, very, very, very different story. Now he tells us instead of 30 dolls, who needs 30 dolls? But instead of getting your daughter or granddaughter 30 dolls, you may have to settle for 2. Uh-oh, and those 2 are going to cost a few dollars more. Yikes. I wonder if he said exactly that during the campaign. I wonder. Well, I don't have to wonder. Had he said the truth, we'd have President Kamala Harris right now, wouldn't we? And if that had happened, America would not be the laughing stock of the entire freaking world.
Did you guys see that weird dolls comment Trump made that he said that if the shelves become empty because of his tariffs, that people will have to buy their kids 2 dolls instead of 30 dolls? Does he not realize that a lot of the people that voted for him did that because they're worried about money and the economy and they don't have money to buy any dolls at all? I saw some video from his 100-day rally and the people lining up outside, and they look like the type of people you'd see lining up outside like a Chili's, real excited for a fancy night out at Chili's on a Friday night. And I'm not judging people for that. I don't have a lot of money. I can't afford to go out to nice, but how did you convince these people that you're the guy for them? The guy that's never had to worry about a bill in his life. The guy that's never had to worry about how he's going to buy a gift because he's probably never had to buy a gift for anyone because someone else does that. He's never known what it's like to worry or struggle like that. And he has got them convinced that he's going to help them. But then right to their faces, he's like, yeah, your kids' Christmas, buy them $1 instead. Like, and they're still going to just be like, he's your daddy anyway. I don't get it. I don't get it. Can someone explain it to me? If you're watching this and you're MAGA, can you explain it to me, please?
Hey, folks, this is the Critical Thinker, and I hope you guys are all doing well today. I know there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of things happening, of course, with our president, his administration, and, just our country in general. It's certainly not a joking manner, although if you look at my first post tonight there, I tried to add a little bit of levity about the size of Marco Rubio's ears as this administration appears to lie and do worse and worse things. Marco's ears seem to get bigger, but that was in the other post. But the post I want to do right now, isn't terribly long, but it's something that you see over and over again, and it just, I saw a couple of things and you put them together and they're just sickening and so un-American and so horrific. I think it's really a pivotal moment, and or it will be one of the pivotal moments when people look at this period in retrospect. And that was the comment that President Trump made a day or so ago about the price of toys and articles from China and with the tariffs and everything else. And one of the big things affected are Christmas toys. And they have to be loaded in the stores now. I mean, they have to be ordered and planned for and marketed and everything now in May, June, July, and August, I believe, to prepare for the holidays. That's at least what I've heard. Well, that's not going to happen with a lot of different things. And when he was asked about this, you can see it. It's been on all the news events and everything else like that. There was Trump once again, just like when he was saying that, I rule this country and I rule the world. He just said, well, I guess kids are going to have to, only have $2 to play with this year or this Christmas instead of $30. And it may cost a couple of bucks more, but they'll get over it and blah, blah, blah. And just kind of, offhanded that kind of comment, and quite a bit different from the guy who was going to save you and bring you into the golden era and all that kind of good stuff. By the way, the golden era being the era of the robber barons, from the 1870s to the early 1900s. All that period of time with people with untold riches and the average guy not having diddly squat compared to them. All the money going to the super rich. That's the golden era for him. But that flippant comment, I felt, was what you could call, and I've heard other people call this the same thing. The first reaction I had when I heard it was it's a Marie Antoinette moment. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Marie Antoinette, I mean, she was the King of France's wife, who made the famous comment when people were starving in France, or, they were doing very poorly and the aristocracy was at the top of their game. They said, well, the people are starving and they have no bread. And she said, well, let them eat cake. Well, we all know what happened to the French aristocracy in the 1780s and 90s, off with their heads, with thousands upon thousands of the aristocracy for that kind of an attitude. And it really dawned on me, it's the same damn thing. The same thing. And to see that guy sitting there at that conference with his arrogance and foolishness and lying and indifference and, telling people one thing and then coming into office doing everything the opposite. All the crooked, money-grabbing, corrupt extortion, just awful things that are being done, just completely un-American. And I've gone into these in other shows, but it's the same theme over again, but just offhanding that. Like the average man or woman, don't get over it. It's a couple of bucks, All this bullshit that this guy has gotten us involved in now, shooting himself in the foot and the country in the foot, is going to cost you and I, the middle class, the working class, and the lower class, going to cost people a fortune. And again, the aristocracy, the Marie Antoinettes of the world and the kings of the world and the self-proclaimed kings and queens of the world are indifferent to the plight of people, and they just blow it away. They just blow it off with one hand. And I don't know what it takes. Just the most un-American, most unrelated, out of touch, just awful response. And then you can imagine, this is how somebody can send somebody to El Salvador. This is how you can possibly think of taking criminals and deporting them to Libya and Rwanda, and crazy ideas like that. A complete disconnect with any type of moral principles or ethics. Just a complete lack of caring for anybody but themselves. Complete narcissism and egocentricity, whatever you'd like to call it. So un-American. So it's not like any culture, to be quite honest with you. It's just a personality trait of certain individuals, and you really can see why in the 1800s and late 1700s, off with their heads. Yeah, people really suffering, and people just rub their face right in the dirt, and that's what this guy does. Rubs your face right in the dirt And, it just tells you exactly what he's going to do and how horrific, That was coupled by a couple of other things, and then I will end this post, which really kind of solidified it to me. What was it? Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, this billionaire that came in and get put in this position. Another really dirtbag of the first order comes in there and kisses the president's rear end constantly, is a sink of pants and prostitutes himself like all these characters. It's sickening. It's like something out of The Fearless Leader, out of Rocky and Bullwinkle, like cartoons from years ago. It's nauseating. And somebody asked him a question about these deals with the tariffs. And he said, yeah, I've just completed a deal. I completed a deal. Really? You completed a deal? And they said, well, can you give us a tip? Like, what country are you talking about? Or what countries might you be talking about? And he just turned to the reporter and said, like I would tell you? And the absolute arrogance of that. I heard Scott Bassett, the Treasury Secretary, asked the same question. And, he said, I don't keep the president's phone log and know who he speaks to or anything. Oh, you don't for deals on tariffs and things like that? No. Or his White House communications person, that Catherine Levitt, another nasty piece of work, or Pam Bondi when they ask her, like, I would tell you? Yeah, you're supposed to tell us. We're the people you serve. This is this whole Marie Antoinette moment. Off with their heads. And it doesn't serve them well. And man alive, when it comes back on these guys, do they deserve it? I don't want to be the guy to pass judgment and everything else like that. But yeah, it really is. And the people who are collaborators with this stuff, who know better, it's bad stuff. Every time I see these guys, by the way, I was actually going to do a separate post for just 60 seconds, but I'll just throw it in here. It reminds me of the commercial for Arby's. And for those of you, a lot of people watch or see these posts from different countries, and Arby's is a fast food chain, and their line is, Arby's has the beef. Where's the beef? Ving Rhames, the famous actor, has a beautiful voice. He does the voiceovers for that. And somebody should be asking these guys the same thing. Deals? Where's the beef, baby? Where's the deals? Where's the deals? You must have used the same euphemisms that I did, or comments as a kid. If something was confusing, you'd say, "What's the deal?" What's the deal with that? Yeah, where are the deals? Where's the beef, man? Where's the substance here? There is none. There is none. And it's really bad, and it has to stop. Just what I'm thinking. What do you guys think?
It's May 1st, so maybe it's a little early to be talking about Christmas, but it's important, right? It's an important part of our culture. And remember, there was a war on Christmas. That war is over, and Republicans won. In years past, Democrats would have you arrested for saying Merry Christmas. They'd have you hauled out into the street and stripped and tarred and feathered in a public square if you said Merry Christmas. And now that is all over. Christmas is back. It's just going to look a little bit different this year.
Much of it we don't need. Somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30. And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But
he's preparing you for the fact that Christmas is going to be a little bit different this year. Instead of getting 30 toys for your children, you're only going to be able to get 2. And those 2 are going to cost a little bit more than they used to. And shelves are going to be empty. He said open. He meant empty. And oh well. That's just the price we have to pay. While your kids this year are crying because they didn't get the toys they want, they're wondering what they did wrong throughout the year, why Santa doesn't love them. Have they been bad throughout the year that they caused themselves to not get what they asked for Christmas? You can take comfort in the fact that we at least can say Merry Christmas to each other again. Tell them that. That will comfort your children, that we can say Merry Christmas again. I'm sure that'll solve everything.
It's May Day, and I think a little housekeeping is in order. As you probably noticed by now that my videos are basically like a turnip coming off the truck midair for the most part. The most popular ones have been about me being excited about old people, excited about the values that young people care about. Grayson County Democrats. If you're interested, we meet once a month. It's a Thursday at the Grandy's on 91 in Sherman, just off of 82. You can do a search, Grayson County, Texas Democrats. If you get there and you sign up to get the emails, and you will be welcomed with open arms. They are a great group of people who have become aware that there is a matching group of young people out there who are looking for a platform, and we're trying to make them aware of Grayson County Democrats via the TikTok platform. So it's Grayson County Democrats, Grayson County, Texas, the Sherman. Second thing is, it's May Day, and we're going to join the National May Day protest for us here in Grayson County, Texas. It will be 6 o'clock tonight at the county courthouse on the square in Sherman, and Sherman, Texas. 6 o'clock, 6 to 7, maybe 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock if we get some people out there. If you are concerned about what Donnie Two Dolls and his minions are doing, and how it's a threat to our way of life, stand up. Be there tonight, May 1st. Grayson County, Texas Courthouse, Sherman, Texas. And and don't be put off by that 30-foot statue there of the Confederate soldier in honor of the men who gave their lives to keep slavery an option in Texas. That was put up here, I think it was in the 90s, and it was about people who really did like it whenever we owned our own labor. Just ignore that. It's irrelevant today. We'll see you tonight, May 1st, at the May Day protest, Grayson County, Texas Courthouse, Sherman, Texas. And the theme is, well, I'd like to say it's oh hell no. And it's all about the Grinch who is ruining Texas, Donnie Two Dolls. We'll talk to you later.